Can you imagine a city in decline, potholes in the streets, people driving down the streets complaining about them, but not really knowing what to do about it, sewer system bubbling up on the streets from underneath.
One of the key factors to success here in Gould is the organizing aspect. It wasn't that we didn't know what to do or how to get it done, but it was just being organized and a collective effort.
Through a lot of energy and through a lot of moving around and asking and trying to seek help, there's a lot of help out there and a lot of assistance financially and that has been received, which previously nobody had any idea that. I don't think, at least they didn't indicate that they had any idea that it was possible. We lost our school, and this pretty much took away our identity. It took away our focus as a community, and the people, I think, felt like they might have been disenfranchised. Just kind of sit back and say, oh well, you know. But you just couldn't sit in a situation where declining existed.
What we found in our experience is that a number of the organizations have leaders who know what they want but didn't exactly know how to develop a collaboration between members in the community. So we sat them down and actually asked each one of them how and what did they want to see happen in their community. Capacity building is important to the group because this is how the group learn how to implement whatever plans they put in place. Capacity building is not something that just happens overnight. It takes a while for people to understand.
You have different leaders in the community and different leadership styles. And based what they do when they come in with the organizing process, they help organize the leaders and they recognize the talent that each leader has and they bring that to the forefront.
You have to develop the capacity for the folk. When we started here in Gould 5 years ago, our folk would look at me and say, well, what are you talking about? Now they are actually leading the charge and actually understand how that process is working and putting forward what they need to do. Initially, though, it took the organizers really the time and the energy to kind of help them get there.
I was a member of GCAC before I became an organizer, so I was familiar with the group and I was able to work with Bernadette as far as the plan, and I also was able to grow with the group because I had a lot of growing also to do.
Now the evaluation process is very important for the panel because we need to know if we have made progress or not. And the only way to measure progress is to measure evaluate how well our groups are doing. And I tell you, Gould started back in '03 with 4 or 5 people at the table. At our last meeting, we had 52 people at the meeting.
We wanted to organize in a way that we could go back to the citizens and get them interested in situations that impacted their lives from day to day. And it stimulates the citizens of the town. Citizens, people that seemed so disinterested in the past. Some of the young men who would rather be out deer hunting, have come in and says, well, we want to join up with GCAC and see what's going on. Rather, they hear what's going on, but they want to be a part of it, you see.
I'm also a cheerleader in addition to technical support for the group. We get to call them, encourage them to come out to meetings. It may take 10 phone calls, 6 letters, a couple home visits to get someone to a meeting. But we find if we can just get them to the meeting, they will buy into the process and they will stay. And once we get them to this table and give them something to do, our group is growing, people are staying active, and they are more anxious to come to the meetings then.
We were able to go out and talk to citizens and find out what their concerns were, and what their needs were, and give them information as to how to express themselves.
One of the things we try to do in the community is to really try to use what the community has as assets and resources to stay within the community. The Gould Citizen Advisory Council, with the help of the Public Policy Panel, was able to go to the state legislators when all the schools started closing down, and we were able to get a law passed that the vacant school buildings could be turned over to the community as community centers. That is what has happened with our old elementary school and our old high school, that they've been turned into community centers for our community to provide places for the kids to go and to have places for our elderly to go. The old Simmons Bank building was getting ready to be turned over to somebody else. So the bank manager asked me that the city wanted, and then we got with the Citizen Advisory Council and the Quilting Club, the library, the Daughters of Charity Services, and the city itself. We all came in together as a partnership, and now the old Simmons Bank building facility is being turned into a community resource center, to where we run our neighborhood watch program out of the center. We run the beautification committee, workforce services, the Step Out Smoking campaign, the Quilting Club is in the building, as well as the library. And that's key to our community, because those organizations in that building, they provide services that we don't have to pay for. We had to provide all the services that our partners provide for us. We'll be out of well over $500,000 a year.
In 1989, two of the sisters came to Arkansas specifically to look for where were people in need of health care, because it wasn't available to them. And they landed on the Delta, the southeast part, and specifically in Gould. So they started in that time in the old jail, and got a nurse practitioner and a doctor, and had literacy lessons for people, et cetera, and a lot of home visiting and meeting the people who didn't know the resources that were available to them. And then this wonderful building was built about 8 years ago. We work in 2 counties. This is Lincoln County, and we also have a health center in Dumas. We have doctor, nurse practitioners, dentist. We have a wellness center, beautiful wellness center right here next to us. And we work with all people. We leave no one behind. Everyone is welcome here, whether they have money or they don't have money.
And the end result in our community is that last year, 2010, within 6 months in the year, we did over $400,000 in grant money. We have a brand new drainage project that we're getting ready to do. We got some streets fixed in town that hadn't been fixed in over 60 years. We got sewer pumps fixed. And then this year, we just received over $800,000 grant for the sewer and project.
And I think it's given them a new interest in the city, and probably new hope that our city will improve. But it's only going to do that by, with their help, with all the citizens pulling together and trying to make this a better community.